Welcome everyone to part 4 in our series on the American River Bike Trail. Today we'll be riding from California State University to the western end of the trail and checking out Old Town Sacramento. It's about an 11-mile ride. Exiting the Guy West Bridge, we get back onto the main trail and head west. Here's the Campus Commons golf course on the left. There's an exit on the right that takes you into the golf course parking lot, and right across the street from that is a Raley's with an outdoor eating area. This area has a few places where you can either ride down on the trail or up on the levee trails. We're going to take a quick right here, a few miles from Sac State, and go up on the levee to check out Cal Expo, site of the California State Fair. As you can see, there was a fire here recently. As we move from rural and suburban areas into the more urban areas of the trail, we encounter a fairly large homeless population that lives near the river. I've never had any problem with anyone, but there have been a few incidents, so please be aware of your surroundings. More than a few campfires have gotten out of hand, and brush fires in this area in the summer months are not surprising. Okay, we're up on the levee and heading towards Cal Expo. Looking to the right on the levee, we see the Cal Expo horse track. There's the grandstand. I'm not much of a gambler, but I've flushed a few dollars on a trotter or two that had a name that resonated with me. The Cal Expo Water Tower, a landmark around here. The Sacramento Fire Department, still working on the embers of a fire that started a few days ago. Here's the water park. I'll tell you, it's tough riding past this park when it's triple digits out and you can hear everyone splashing down those slides. In the foreground you can see the monorail track. I'm not sure if it's still in operation, but it was built in the 70s. And right past the water park is the Sacramento Republic FC soccer stadium. To get back onto the main trail from this point on the levee, you need to take a right, drop down into the parking lot, and head out towards that billboard and freeway. I don't know if they still do it, but they used to have a lot of autocross events in this parking lot. My dad used to participate quite often, and I remember my brother Joe in a Ferrari spinning out fairly drastically. I think he'll remember that too. We are still on the levee trail here, but we're going to drop off back onto the main trail. We are approaching a very heavily trafficked railroad bridge. Lots of trains come through here, so don't mess around on the tracks over here. We're going to take a quick left here, go underneath this bridge, and keep heading towards Old Town. More often than not, there's a train going across this bridge when we go underneath it, and even though I know it's there, I still jump when they blow that train whistle. It's very loud. We're approaching an area on the trail known as the duck ponds. To the left there are some duck ponds, a small picnic area, and to the right, more importantly, is an exit for more food. There is a Costco, and there is a Subway, and I think there are a few more restaurants around. The trail goes straight here, wraps right around this building, and heads to this Costco, which has an outdoor eating area. The parking lot is usually really busy, so it just makes more sense to go around the back side of the Costco to get to the eating area. And here is a view of the duck ponds and the picnic area from up on the levee. We arrive at Discovery Park. This is where the American River meets the Sacramento River. It's a popular boat launch destination, and there are lots of picnic areas and an archery range. When we have the really rainy winters, the park usually floods and many areas are underwater. We are now approaching the official end of the trail. First, we pass under the freeway, then we pass under the Jaboom Street Bridge. trail ends right at the start of the Jaboom Street Bridge. But fear not, we cross over the bridge, make a quick right, and we are right back on the trail that leads us to Old Town. The Jaboom Street Bridge is a metal truss swing bridge which was built in 1931. And here's where we pick up the trail to Old Town. I've swung around here to take a better look at the PG&E powerhouse. Originally, the powerhouse was built in 1912, but it's been completely redone and turned into a science center that even includes a planetarium. Right past the powerhouse is the Sacramento River water intake structure, which pumps 160 million gallons of water every day. And there is the city in the distance. We are almost there. And there's the old Sacramento rail yards out to the left. This is a very old building off to the right here. I have no idea what it was, but it's definitely from the 1800s. And there is the I Street Bridge. We've reached the end of the road, Old Town Sacramento. This is the Sacramento History Museum. Here you can take one of the museum's popular underground tours of Old Town Sacramento. Because of constant flooding in the 1800s, the new Old Town is built on top of the original Old Town. Many sidewalks, alleyways, and underground spaces are still there to be seen on the tour. And at the end of a row of very authentic looking buildings is the California State Railroad Museum. Here is a recreation of the original Front Street, with the Eagle Theater front and center. The Eagle was a Gold Rush era theater built in 1849, and the newly constructed Eagle is built on the exact same spot. Tickets in the early days sold for about $2. It's now owned by the California Department of Parks and Recreation. Across the river is West Sacramento. The striking building you see is called the Ziggurat, and is a 10-story office building designed by Edwin Cato to resemble the ancient Mesopotamian ziggurats. If you're into trains, you've come to the right place. Here's the Santa Fe ATSF number 2925. It was built in 1944 by the Baldwin Locomotive Works for the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway. The California State Railroad Museum operates excursion train rides aboard authentic steam or diesel locomotives. You can ride in enclosed coach cars, open-air gondolas, or first-class observation cars. And here we see the Delta King. Now a hotel and restaurant, it was built in 1927 as a riverboat along with its sister ship, the Delta Queen, to ferry passengers between San Francisco and Sacramento. As promised, here's my favorite place to eat on the trail, Railroad Fish and Chips. They make a killer burger and fries and serve Mexican Coke in glass bottles. I really need to try the fish and chips here, but the burgers are so good I never get the chance. As we get back on the trail and head back home, I'd like to thank all of you for coming along with us as we've explored the American River Bike Trail. My friend Jeff introduced me to the bike path back in 1979, and I've been up and down the trail too many times to count since then. If you get a chance to visit, I think you'll enjoy the ride. Safe riding, everyone.